This is the new Harley-Davidson Low Rider ST. They've taken the S model Low Rider and they've added a half fairing and some panniers. Let's take it out for a ride and see what we think. The ride of the Low Rider ST is very similar to the Low Rider S, one of the best performing Harley-Davidson cruisers the company has ever built. It's got more cornering clearance, it's got higher performance, it's got better quality suspension and better brakes than just about any Harley cruiser ever built. The Low Rider ST is powered by the 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 Harley-Davidson V-twin motor, and it's a stonking motor in this chassis and this setup. It really does pull hard. It's so much fun to ride. It offers quite a bit more performance than the same engine in the touring bikes because there's 100 kilos less weight to be pushing around. Another feature of this bike is the mid-set controls. Now, these give more cornering clearance than forward controls, although they don't give you that super cruiser look when you're riding the bike. What they do is let you put a little bit of weight through those foot pegs, which enables better cornering, and as I say, a lot better cornering clearance, so definitely the right way to go on a performance motorcycle. The twin shotgun sort of exhausts. They sound pretty good. Obviously it's got to comply with modern noise laws, so it's not super loud, but it does have a very nice note. Up the front here, upside down forks, twin discs. Again, 100 kilos lighter than the big touring bikes, means that it stops a lot harder and flicks into corners a lot better. Up here I've got the fairing, that a half fairing. It's frame mounted using some very big brackets under here. Very big steel bracket, so adds to a little bit to the weight. But look, this fairing's not too bad. It's reasonably effective. It keeps a lot of wind off your chest and dumps a fair bit of wind on your helmet, so I tended to find I needed to wear earplugs a lot. So on the Harley-Davidson Low Rider ST, we've got indicator button here. Now the indicators are notable in that they self-cancel, so you just press that and forget about it, can press it again to cancel. This round one here controls your instruments and lets you change what you can see on the instruments, horn, lights, and down here we've got a cruise control. We don't have cruise control on the Low Rider S, so that's a nice little addition for the ST. So there's my Quadlock, and that Quadlock is mounted on a normal set of handlebars, so you can change those handlebars out for different ones if you wish to. And here, I'll just switch these on, we have the smallest set of instruments I've ever seen on a motorcycle. So you've got a set of lights down here, LEDs, they're pretty easy to see in most conditions, and the smallest set of instruments I've ever seen. Normally it's a speedo, a fuel gauge, and one other thing. So at the moment it's a tacho, so it's showing 0 because the engine's not running. Press the button over here, the little round one, and it starts to change. So there's odometer, there is trip meters, trip meter, range to empty. Fuel consumption is pretty good, so you do get a good range out of the fuel tank. And there's the clock, and that's all you've really got. Like most of the ST range of Harleys, only a front seat. If you want a back seat, you have to pay extra and have that fitted up in a different time. And no locking fuel cap either. So not designed for security in that sense. And one last thing about security, the steering lock sits down there and you have to operate it with the key. So it's got a key fob, so you can just jump on and ride it. However, if you want to lock the bike up, it doesn't actually have any easy or simple way to do that. You have to get the key out and lock the steering yourself. The panniers are a clamshell design, so unlike most Harley panniers, they don't pivot from the top, but rather they are open vertically. So here's the little lever. You flick this up and they open that way. Now they hold a reasonable amount. They don't hold heaps and heaps, but they're a reasonable amount. But the shape means you certainly can't put things like a helmet in there. The Harley-Davidson Low Rider ST is priced from $35,250. That's for the black one. If you like the gunship grey one we've got here, it's an extra $355. For that money, it offers a fair bit of value. There's not too many other big bore cruisers that offer the same level of handling, stopping, luggage capacity, protection from the weather and the elements as the ST at that sort of money. So from that point of view, it's pretty good value. Of course, there's plenty of other options out there at that sort of price, but I think anybody who's really seriously after a cruiser with a little bit of versatility and handling and performance, this is a good bike to have a look at.